greatest damn show on YouTube. Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
We live, chat. We live. Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing this morning, chat? What we doing this morning, chat? You are now tuned in to Plug in the Morning, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. Double tap the screen, like tap, tap. Let's get this show on the road, man. We got Trump and Bill Gates set to end disease, man. We got a trans firearm ban incoming, and we got the world leader speaking on Ukraine. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, Mama Money. I see you in here early and often, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, chat. We got an action-packed episode. We really got an action-packed episode. I was gonna come on at 8 o'clock. Y'all know I like to get that 8 o'clock hour, man. But this morning, chat, I was asleep, man, and I heard some doors slamming, and you know what I'm saying, knocking on doors. I get to looking outside. What's going on? Next thing I know, I doze back off, fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, my neighbor's over there. You know what I mean? I got a little bit going on. I wake up, man. I look outside, I see the police outside talking to the neighbors, so I don't know if they got into it or what, man. Then I seen Karen across the street pulling off, you know what I'm saying, while the police outside talking. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to sleep in. I just did a banger live stream last night. Now I'm waking up at 7, I don't even think it was 7. It was like when they was banging on the door, it had to be like 5:30. You know what I'm saying? By the time 7:30 hit, you know, I'm just now getting back into a good sleep. I see police outside. What's going on, chat? But long story short, we here. We a little bit late, but we here. We finna have a good morning, man. Let's hit intro mode. Where that baby go at, man? Where that baby go at?
I told that bitch don't get in my car if it don't come with no neck. I told my niggas I don't like the beef cause that don't come with no check. I told my niggas to mark my word, I guarantee that I'm next. I got the arms of a bodybuilder from the way that I flex. Might just hit the strip just to go blow me a check. They know what the fuck I'm on. They say that they got some of the best gas, they call it Southern Joy. Chain on chain and ice on ice like Adam Sandler, I'm water boy. I know I'm all in the head. Bad bitch laying in my bed. Wait till I give her a spray. I'm a master with the head. Don't let these social fool you, these niggas broke. I know that they ain't bought it. Ain't got no car but talking shit. Okay, then little walkie talkie. I told that bitch to come home. I ain't got time for no bitch that's healing. Puff the blood, she called me daddy, and I'm screaming I know dick. I'ma make sure that she come. I'ma fuck her good with my tongue. I know the night is still young, so baby let's get it in. I know just how she like it tonight. She spicy, she added a friend. They ain't identical, but they fuck alike. So in the bed I call them twin. I call them twin. I call them twin. Bitch and shoot a shoot. 1 + 1 that equal 2. What you tryna do? Go back for back, check a swoop for swoop. Either way it go, I'm on. Either way it go, I'm gone. Brody them just got like 100 on them and they tryna get them gone. What you call it, Jet Wet? What's the name? And he put it in his song. Brody them got the purest powder, it's pink, you know this shit is strong. No diddy. I'm the type of nigga that turn my bitch up in each city. Brody cut out, we celebrating, we hit the gritty. I'm feeling like a baby, I'm tryna get that milk up out them titties. It's no question who young and the littest. If you want your bitch, then when she talking, hear her. If I want the bitch, I'm going Pittsburgh, still her. I keep some on the side, I don't have trust in just the main bitch. Suck me up while I'm driving like damn, I'll die by this lane switch. Shit, different type of free, so we ain't never got a tussle. Throw it back like Miss London, and some of you like be hustle.
Oh man, double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. Cloudy Boy said, play the video already. Cloudy Boy, let me tell you how it goes in here, man. I just invited you into my house, right? I let you come in here. I let you take your shoes off. I let you put those mud-stained flip-flops by my front door. And you want to come in here, making demands? You want to come here making demands, Cloudy Boy? I'm going to tell you, I'm from the South, Cloudy Boy. That's not how things go over here. We have what you call Southern hospitality. When you come into my house, you sit the fuck down somewhere. That I'm not even supposed to be cussing because it's the morning show. But when you come into my house, you sit down, right? Nobody came to see you, Otis. We're having a conversation now. You almost wearing your welcome out, Cloudy Boy. Have you ever heard of you can overstay your welcome? You know how sometimes somebody be at your crib chat and you just be like, damn, why don't they just go home or wherever, just not here? I want to be by myself. That's how I'm feeling about Cloudy Boy right now. You know what I'm saying? Coming in his house, making demands. So Cloudy Boy, I'm going to ask you to get that shit together, man. Just get it together. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, man. Get that shit together. Straight up. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. We got an action-packed episode. I just had to get Cloudy Boy together. Like I was telling y'all, man, I wanted to come on at 8 o'clock. But I guess the people next door across the street had some shit going on. You know what I'm saying? I guess they had some stuff going on. So we are here, man. Let me give y'all today's lineup, what we got going on today. That video that we got right there, that I got playing right there, that's some crazy stuff, man. I'm finna show y'all what's going on with that video. But we also have Bill Gates and President Trump. It says Bill Gates says President Trump and he are discussing creating next level cures to eradicate several major diseases. Do you guys trust Bill Gates and President Trump with eradicating major diseases? We see we got a lot going on with RFK and their hearings going on over there. I seen Bernie Sanders went out and called everybody out for taking money from Big Pharma. RFK called out what was that, Elizabeth Warren for taking about $855,000 in kickbacks. We also got the trans gun ban. I have a video of this lady, I don't know, well, the person. Yeah, we'll get into that here in a minute. We also have the world leaders talking about Ukraine. It says Russia says no to Ukraine's NATO membership. Why are we listening to Putin? He's the governor of Texas, not more. And that's NATO secretary. NATO secretary compared Putin to being the governor of Texas. That's crazy. That's crazy. We also got a Sean Ryan clip where he's talking about the LDS Church is now the second largest private landowner in the United States with 2.3 million acres tax-free, worth $300 billion in the market assets, is projected to hit $1 trillion in the next 10 years. But Sean Ryan is saying not a single dollar, well, his interview is saying not a single dollar of that fund has ever gone to humanitarian purposes. Not $1 of that $300 billion. Not 1 acre of that 2.3 million acres has went to a humanitarian cause. We're going to get into that. Oh, and we talked about Conor McGregor yesterday about his presidential bid for Ireland. They have polls coming out and they're saying Conor McGregor is ahead by a landslide. They're saying almost 60% of the people who they asked or responded to the poll said they are going out to vote for Conor McGregor, man. They're saying that they are going to go out and vote for Conor McGregor. So we might be seeing President McGregor over there in Ireland. We're going to break that down. Also, it's another clip over there from Nick Sorter on Twitter X. He's saying that the CDC chief scientist in 2002 was ordered to destroy data from a study showing that black kids who received the measles vaccine on time had a 226% higher chance of being diagnosed with autism versus those who waited. We're going to get into that. Also, over there in Germany, they're saying about 16 politicians have died while they're leading up to their elections. That's what I'm trying to say. Their elections are September 14th. They're saying about 16 politicians have died leading up to this election. I believe 6 or 7 of them died from the same cause. Also, we have going back to Canada's chief of police saying that just comply, let people come in your house and comply. They got a little compilation with Florida's sheriff, Florida sheriff saying the exact opposite. Florida sheriff is saying the exact opposite. Oh, we have more from those soldiers. I mean, from the world. We have more from the world. Oh, and I do have that clip yesterday. We never listened to that woman that was talking about Huntsville, Alabama, and moving the space program to Huntsville, Alabama. But yeah, chat, we got an action-packed episode. I am going to open the call lines up just here in a minute. You said, oh wait, it's a gun ban specifically for trans. Yes, that is what is being put on the table. A gun ban specifically for trans. A lot of people are saying, why not ban all guns? So that's why I posted the question in the poll. I hope everybody's having a good morning. It is Friday. I don't know if you guys are just getting up, getting around, or if you're already clocked in, or you're off today. I hope everybody's going to have a wonderful day and a great start to their weekend, man. Press 1 if you're in here rocking with me, getting a great start to your weekend, man. Press 1 if you're in here rocking with me, getting a great start to your weekend. But this lady we have right here, man, it says the public has no idea what is coming. Says this woman lives in Utah. She and her husband implanted NFC chips into their hands. They implanted one under their daughter's fingernail. Her husband is a programmer. He made it so they can use the NFC in their hands to unlock their smart home doors, their cupboards, their pantry, and even use it for card payments like we're going to see in this video. So a lot of people are calling this the mark of the beast. A lot of people are saying that this is what's coming to everywhere. We have seen this happen in other countries. I believe about 500 people lined up on opening day to get the chip. But I'm going to play this video for you guys.
I'm about to pay. I'm at Whole Foods and I'm about to pay for my groceries with my... That's the coolest thing ever. I'm at Whole Foods and I'm about to pay for my groceries with my... That's the coolest thing ever.
She says that's the coolest thing ever, chat. How are you guys feeling about it, chat? Would you put the chip in your hand for ease of access? Open your doors at home, open your cupboards, probably unlock your car, pay for groceries. Oh, she has a chip in her hand. They put a chip under their daughter's fingernail. I don't know why their daughter would need a chip. Is it GPS? Maybe they have location data on their daughter. Maybe that's what it is, because I don't know why a child would need a damn chip. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Why would the child need it other than GPS location? Like, was the child trying to open the damn door at home or get in the cupboard? Probably not. Maybe she wants to get out of her playpen. Maybe she swipes to get out of the playpen. No more crawling out, throwing the bottle and climbing up on it. Maybe she just swipes her hand and she walks out of the playpen. I don't know, chat. I don't know, chat. But what got me most about this story was that they put it under their daughter's fingernail. I really want to deep dive and go into why they what does the daughter get? Is it GPS? Because I don't see any other reason. Nah, this is not fake right here. I've seen this story before, but this was overseas. I guess it's just now starting to pick up in America. This is happening overseas. One company actually rolled out the chips in their hand for their employees to clock in and out. It was an optional thing. Like, you didn't have to get the chip to work here, but you could get the chip to work here. And they said about 500 employees signed up to get the chip on day one. About 500 employees signed up to get the chip. That is wild to me. A lot of people are saying that she should chop her hand off and repent. That's the mark of the beast. No one is going to like how the criminal element is going to respond to this. So they're saying the criminals will end up chopping people's hands off. They're alluding to criminals chopping people's hands off to take their chips. They're saying she's a lost sheep. But yeah, man, chat, I don't know. That is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, they're saying people are gonna be able to gonna chop people's hands off to get that chip, man. I never even thought about people chopping people's hands off. Like this thread right here is crazy. I never even thought about that. Like, it makes sense. People might just chop your hand off, bro. For a home invasion, they might chop your hand off. They might put you in the trunk, chop your hand off, and walk right into your damn crib, man. Let's be real. Let's be real. They might chop your hand off and walk right into your damn crib. That is crazy. All right, chat. We're gonna move on into the next story. This is Sean Ryan. This is a clip from Sean Ryan. He's talking about the LDS Church. I don't know much about the LDS Church, but they have amassed a fortune. A fortune. Not a small fortune, a literal fortune. They're projected to hit over $1 trillion in assets in the next decade. I don't know if you guys know, but there are a lot of big corporations and companies that don't have $1 trillion in assets. Nowhere near $1 trillion in assets.
In the U.S., it's because there's these pastors.
Okay. So I believe this is Sean Ryan. This is from I believe he posted it maybe on his YouTube channel, but I'm watching this from his ex. So if you guys want to check this clip out in full, you could probably go over his ex and find the clip. This excerpt that I have right here is about 9 or 10 minutes. I have not watched it. You guys know that I watch all of my clips with you guys live. For the most part, probably about 90-95% of the clips we watch over here, y'all get my live reaction, raw reaction. But let's see what's going on.
Sexually abusing kids. No, it's because the whole system is broken. They're worth $300 billion. It's all for-profit ventures registered as churches.
Wow, $300 billion.
$300 billion in market assets. The LDS Church will hit $1 trillion in market assets in the next decade. Church petitioned the IRS to add the term auxiliary in front of church in the 60s. And it was men's clubs.
Chat, is this Sean Ryan's place, bro? Like, where are they at, bro? This interview set up is next level, bro. They got the bar with the red lights, the brown leather couch. They got is that an ARP in the back, man? Then they have like some gold front. I don't know, man. I like this setup right here, man. I don't know if he's drinking a coffee or whatever the hell he's drinking, but the bar with the ARP, man, and the lighting around is crazy, bro. That's a crazy interview setup.
Back in the day, so men would meet up, smoke cigars, hang out, talk, and they're like, this is technically church. And so
that's like a real man cave vibe. That's like a next level man cave, bro. That's like when you have made it. What do they say, chat? When I get rich, I won't tell anybody, but there will be signs. When y'all see me in the damn man cave doing my lives with a full bar beside me and some damn lightings and a little ARP up top, man, and a nice leather couch, my damn shirt unbuttoned, my little chest hairs curled up out, man, y'all will know I've officially made it. Straight up.
The IRS added this term auxiliary to their definition.
SMG. Yeah, that is SMG. Appreciate you, D Righteous.
There's no definition, black and white definition of what an auxiliary is. So if there's no definition, anything can be an auxiliary. So the LDS Church registers their investment fund as an auxiliary, which means that auxiliary is technically a church. It gets the same benefits that the church gets. Flash forward 27 years, they're worth $300 billion. It's all for-profit ventures registered as churches.
300 billion.
300 billion in market assets. The LDS Church will hit $1 trillion in market assets in the next decade, all under the guise of a religious institution. And the crazy part is not $1 of that, now it's a hedge fund because they're hedging, that not a single dollar of that fund has ever gone to humanitarian purposes or even the church. So if you're a shrewd business...
So what are they doing with the money? If not $1 is going to humanitarian purposes of the church, are they just buying assets? They're just doubling down. They're just doubling, tripling, quadrupling down, probably reinvesting. They have 2.3 million acres. So I don't even know why the hell I asked where's the money going. They're buying land. They got 2.3 million acres. So we know where the money's going. They're buying land. A shit ton of land. So between LDS, Bill Gates, and a few of these other people we can name, that's a lot. That's a big chunk of America gone. That's a big chunk gone.
You start a church and you can do whatever you want. And so you wonder why, oh man, Christianity is getting a bad rap right now. You know, it's because, there are these pastors, sexually abusing kids. No, it's because the whole system is broken. The legal system. So that's what needs to be reformed.
I mean, we see the...
Look at the man cave, chat. I'm sorry, bro. Call it glazing or whatever, bro. I need somebody to screenshot this and send it to the Discord. This right here is the best interview setup I've seen, bro. That shit is crazy, chat. Crazy. It's not too much. That is crazy.
do this all the time. I mean, pastors with runways behind their house, 4 private jets. I mean, I know it's insane.
Well, the private jet can be registered as a house of worship in Texas, so you don't pay tax on the jets.
Huh? It can be registered as what?
As a house of worship, because you pray on it. So a private jet...
Karen says, I don't think so. If you believe these people, something is wrong. Why do something got to be wrong if I believe these people? I mean, I'm not taking it at face value. I haven't done my research. I'm listening to it, getting some information. Then I'll go do my research, you know. He's probably going to leave some breadcrumbs as to where he done his research. I'm pretty sure. But Karen, how dare you, Karen? I thought this was America, Karen.
Jet, a $21 million jet, is tax-free because it's a house of worship.
Is that an auxiliary as well?
Well, it's just an asset of the church, but it's a house of worship. It's part of it. It's your building, basically. The rest sees it as your building.
So with these loopholes, you could basically purchase just about any vehicle, any plane, any piece
Correct.
of real estate,
Yeah.
any building.
And a lot of times, so the LDS Church is now the second largest private landowner in the U.S. 2.3 million acres.
So, Karen, you said you don't believe him. Now, he's saying that they own 2.3 million acres. I'm pretty sure it's verifiable. Have I verified it? No, not yet. But we can pull a quick Google search right now and let's see. Let's see. It says, yes, the LDS Church owns more than 2.3 million acres of private land in the United States, making it the second largest private landowner in the company. This figure is supported by multiple sources. Okay, let's go to the Salt Lake Tribune. Salt Lake Tribune is reporting on it. Daily Mail is reporting on it. The Widow Smite is reporting on it. So yeah, I mean, I haven't done just a thorough deep dive, but they're saying these guys own 2.3 million acres. And you said that I'm something wrong with me because I did a quick Google search and looked it up, and they own 2.3 million acres private. Just saying, Karen. I don't know, man. Karen, call in, Karen. Let me open up the phone lines, y'all. I'm finna open up the phone lines early. I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna open it up early. Phone lines are now open. for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna leave them on.
Tax free. Guise of religion and freedom of religion.
And none of this goes to.
Have farms, and this is where the LDS Church is very interesting, and we can get I really want to dissect the LDS Church with you. Farms, and so they say, hey, we're building our storehouse. So this is Old Testament Torah. So we're going to have goods and supplies in the storehouse, sufficient in God's storehouse. So they're quoting Malachi. And if you've tithed.
Hey guys, let's get to 100 likes right quick. Let's get to 100 likes right quick. War, I appreciate you for letting us know that we have not hit that like goal. If you're watching on your phone, I hope you're having a good morning. If you're at work, wherever you're listening to me at, just tap twice on that phone. If you got your AirPods in, when you get around your phone, double tap the screen. Just boom, boom. That's how you like the video. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We are trying to hit 31,400 subscribers on this live stream. Rock out with me, man. Hope y'all having a good day.
To us, if you've given your full tithe, you're going to get to enjoy the benefits of our storehouse if there's a natural disaster or if Jesus comes. So they're building their conglomerate, demanding you give 10% of your gross revenue to them, and then you'll be able to benefit from us if something happens. The kicker, if you don't give your full tithe, you don't get to benefit.
How do they know?
They look at your bank statements.
Their bank statements?
Every year at the LDS Church, you have to go in, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's a meeting with your bishop, and you have to discuss your finances, and he says, have you been a full tithe payer? And if you haven't, it's literally you're docked. And if you're not a full tithe payer, you don't get your temple recommend. And if you don't have your temple recommend, you don't get to heaven with your family. We've built these institutions, and I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt here, with good intentions, and they've become the middleman, God's resources. And here's a question. Christ told to give to two things. Do you know what those two things are? Well, render to Caesar things that are Caesar's. Your taxes. Give to God the things that are God's. Pay taxes. So this is Christ talking to you, Sean. Render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and give to God the things that are God's. Well, the church has moved right in the middle to giving your resources to God and said, we'll disperse these for you.
So they saying if you don't pay your tithe straight up, you're not going to heaven with your family, man. If you ain't got it together, man, you ain't going. Y'all remember we just covered that church in Mexico where the guy was selling $100 square meters of land in heaven. He said God came to him in 2017 and told him to start selling land in heaven. So he's been selling $100 a square meter for the land in heaven, for the land in heaven. And with this $100 a square meter land in heaven, he's generated millions of dollars.
For you. Christ never told you to give it to an institution. This is the big one too. He never told you to give it to the house of God. He never told you to give it to the temple because you.
Was to pay taxes?
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed in that.
Yeah. Well, because he said, I don't care about Caesar. Caesar's going to come and go. Yeah. Taxes are going to go up and down. Don't care about worldly things. He's literally saying just pay. Whatever he asks you, pay. Don't stress it. But so this is an interesting conversation about, so why was tax exemption created in the first place? So in 1913, the government is looking at all these businesses out in the U.S. and they say, man, there's about 12,000 organizations, 12,000 businesses building what we call social capital. So they're in their local communities because there's no TV, there's no internet, and there's no planes yet. So your world is what's really around you within your 40-mile range, really. And so there's these 12,000 organizations building social capital. And the idea of this is, hey, even if Nathan doesn't have kids, I want the park down the street to be nice and safe for other people's kids. So raising social capital, local social capital, means I'm helping my local community and driving what development economists call human flourishing. So what businesses in our community are...
Yeah, chat. Do y'all church take Cash App and Apple Pay? I haven't been to a church yet that has the ATMs in it, and I haven't been to a church yet that has Cash App and Apple Pay. So if y'all church has Tap to Pay, Cash App, or it has an ATM in it, put 1 in the chat. If you have never been to a church like that, put 2 in the chat. I've never seen a church like that. Have y'all ever been in a church where they have Cash App, Apple Pay, or ATMs? Now, I have been in a church where they send that collection plate, that offering plate, around about 13 times. Man, the pastor got a trip, he got a conference he got to go to. They're going to send that plate around, man, a few times. But I have not been in a church with the ATM, Apple Pay, or Cash App.
Raising the level of human flourishing. And that's what they defined as the nonprofits. They said there's these unique businesses that are strictly there to benefit the community. They're not after capital profits. They're really here for the benefit of the community. So we're going to do this special carve out, and this is 1913, and we're going to call it the nonprofit sector. 12,000 organizations, and this includes churches, got that exemption in 1913. 1.9 million profits. So it's an explosion in the sector, and it's tied to technology. So every time a tech boom happens,
Joshua said that's because you don't go out enough. Nah, Joshua, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. When it comes to where I go to church, man, I go to the same church, man, straight up. If I'm going, maybe I don't go to church enough. That's fair. But when I show up, I'm showing up to the same church, man. I have a church home. I know that the individuals inside of my church home is not finna put an ATM in that thing yet. I don't know the future, but right now I ain't not finna put one in there. Cash App, Apple Pay, they not doing that, man. They still got the envelopes. They still sending the envelopes around where you check, you know, if this is for pastor appreciation, tithes, you know, whatever. They still send the envelope around where I go to church at, straight up.
The sector explodes because people see it as a way to offload money because the regulations are archaic. But so there's about 12,000 organizations. This includes religious exemptions.
See, Joshua gonna come in here. No, don't delete Joshua's message. He gonna tell me I don't have a church. Joshua, you know what? It's Friday, Joshua. I hope you have a blessed day, Joshua. I hope, let me not say that. Y'all gonna try to cancel me.
Exemptions. Flash forward a couple decades, and the IRS has to, in effect, now define a church. Because churches are now saying, hey, we're a nonprofit, we're building local social capital, which they were, and some are. Right? So we're helping the homeless, we're housing the unhoused, we're helping foster care, single mothers. We're really the backbone of our community, which these institutions, because remember the church is just the people, but the building itself was really for the community. They do community meals together. They were there for the community. So the IRS, in effect, had to define a church so they could grant tax exemption. So this always blows people away. The IRS used one organization as the model to shove every religion into. One organization was the Salvation Army. So they looked at the Salvation Army. They said the Salvation Army.
Tag Sean Ryan. Y'all tag Sean Ryan in here, man. This is off of his X feed, man. I got this is Sean Ryan over there on X right here. Sean Ryan 762 over there on X, man. He got a nice setup. I think this is his studio. If this is his studio, that's nice, man.
The Army is doing good things. Let's go in. And they created 14 points and said, this is what the Salvation Army does, so this is what church is.
What are those points?
Every church, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Judaism, you name it, is tucked into that same 14 points. And it is, you need a house of worship, so you need a physical location. You need basically a board of elders, someone to steer it. You need a creed or a form of worship. You need childcare, so you can raise the next generation. So when you look at...
Thank you, Essence, for the floating heart. Thank you, Essence. I hope you're having a good morning, Essence. I hope you're having a good morning, Essence.
Just today, they're based solely off these 14 points. Say it's not bad. It's not bad, but that's not church. It's literally just replicas of the Salvation Army. And then you apply a level of entrepreneurialism on top of that, And man, the sky's the limit, if that makes sense. And so now, today, there's 400,000 churches in the U.S.
No matter where you're watching Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.
All right, man. That was Sean Ryan over there, man. He was breaking that down. He had a guest over there actually breaking that down, man. We're gonna move on to the next story. What do I got next? What do we have next here, Chad? Okay, this is what we got here next, man. Y'all know that they're talking about Trump's and his admin is talking about looking into a weapons ban on the basis of mental illness for the trans community. So I want to get y'all thoughts and opinions on that, man. How are y'all feeling about a weapons ban on the basis of being mentally ill for trans individuals?
Server came up and said, "Hello, ladies," and proceeded to take our drink order. And as soon as the server left, my 4-year-old looked at me and just gasped and was like, "They called you a lady." She also corrected a family member the other day who she heard me and just went, "They, them, they, them, they, them," over and over again until they acknowledged her. All that to say, if my freshly 4-year-old can figure out pronouns, so can your shitty boomer parents. No more excuses. The other day,
So she's saying that her 4-year-old understands pronouns, so the rest of the world should understand pronouns. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the world should understand pronouns. So when it comes to things like this, one side of the coin is saying that this is a mental illness. We have seen other countries have classified this as a mental illness. Now we see this current administration pushing forward, and they are also, we know when the Minnesota shooting happened, those kids lost their lives and got injured. It was a whole campaign ran that, hey man, these shooters that do this kind of stuff are trans, and they pushed it. And now here we are a week later, and we see rumblings of a weapons ban for trans individuals. Now, we just seen that video right there of that woman. It had nothing to do with the weapons ban, but she was saying that, hey, if my 4-year-old can understand this, you, plug, everybody in the world should be able to understand this. And a lot of people is not, a lot of people aren't feeling it. Now with me, when it comes to the Second Amendment, man, I don't like when any type of pushback on the Second Amendment. I'm really not with it. I feel like certain states have stricter gun laws. Those are those states. Certain states have more lenient gun laws. Those are those states. But when it comes about restricting guns, making it to where people can't protect themselves at home, making it to where people can't stand their ground, I get to scratching my head and looking around, chat. I'm like, we sure that's the road we want to go down? Are you sure that's the road we want to go down, chat? I mean, it's America. Everybody has the right to their opinion, you know. I'm sure it'll go before a vote. They'll draw up the legislation for it. Somebody will. We know it's coming. It's all about, is it going to pass or not? Are y'all going to go out there and stand strong for the Second Amendment? Or are y'all going to go out there and say, hey, that's a mental illness and they shouldn't have those? We're here now, chat. We're here. We're here. I'm going to pull up the actual clip about it. I just wanted y'all to hear from that lady first. Let me pull up the actual clip. Yeah, chat, when it comes to the Second Amendment, man, that can be a real slippery slope. That can be a real slippery slope. Okay, what is it? Here we go. Yeah, Chad. This administration is moving fast. I think that's one thing that everybody, no matter if you're Democrat, Republican, or if you are politically homeless, can agree on. This administration
When you've got
is
smoke-free
moving
satisfaction, you've got...
Why the hell do we have ads on here, man? Dang, I guess YouTube been seeing me hit my damn vape, trying to get me to quit. Probably need to.
We want to bring you this update as the Justice Department is considering ways to prevent transgender people from buying guns, according to multiple reports. The news comes 1 week after the deadly school shooting in Minneapolis. The suspect in that shooting was transgender. Justice Department officials are reportedly considering a range of options, but banning an entire group of Americans from purchasing a gun could be difficult to implement or even illegal. To help us understand what's possible, and we're going to be now joined by constitutional law expert Robert McWhirter. And Robert, let's start out right now what you thought about this news.
Well, it's a little shocking, and actually any gun owner should be very afraid, and the National Rifle Association should be up in arms about this proposal. Look, if you're going to say that a diagnosis of gender dysmorphia, which is part of the foundation of transgender, is a basis to take away guns, well, why not somebody who's clinically depressed? Do they all get their guns taken away? What about somebody who just has a neuroses about, I don't know, and all of a sudden you're making a justification to take away their Second Amendment right to bear arms? And this is the thinnest of bases which to do it. Transgender people are usually 4 times more likely to be victims of crimes rather than perpetrators of crimes. And the people who have committed mass shootings have been overwhelmingly heterosexual men, who are called cisgender, but let's just say heterosexual men. So to say that you're going to, kind of go after transgender people, frankly, I just think this is an attempt to create a narrative about the school shooting, the tragedy that occurred with the kids at mass, and to try to take this focus as how this has something to do with the culture wars, other than the fact that we don't have gun laws that keep guns out of the hands of people who are dangerous.
I mean, just how would this even work for gun owners in the stores? I mean, how would they be able to ask someone, hey, are you transgender?
Well, that is a very good question. Because a lot of transgenders, you can't tell. I mean, some I suppose you can tell, but by looking at people. And then are you going to now ask for somebody's psychological profile? I mean, maybe if that's what you want as a basis for gun control, that you cannot buy a firearm unless you are deemed to be psychologically fit, then fine, but that's something that the National Rifle Association should be totally up in arms about. If we have a psychological test before you can own a firearm, I don't think that they would be very happy about it. And how else are you going to tell whether somebody is psychologically fit and whether they're transgender or not?
That's so true. And what else, too, Robert? What about other groups? I mean, we're talking about, what about veterans that suffer from PTSD? I mean, those are things you got to consider as well.
Absolutely. And I will say, there is a history of this country of excluding a specific group of people. And it comes from the region of the country that has the longest history of gun control. And frankly, surprisingly, that is the Deep South. Banned all black people from owning firearms, whether they were slaves or not. Free black people in the South could not own firearms. And that extended well past the Civil War, well through Jim Crow, etc. And, that's one of the bases of why the United States Supreme Court decided in the Heller decision that there is an individual right to bear arms because of that racist past, excluding an entire group of people in America from the right to possess a firearm. I don't see how this is all that different when you just decided to grab one group of Americans and say they should be excluded.
And it seems like, when we see these tragedies play out in really any part of the country, but you just have to change the name of the city or the town there. That's how unfortunate it is sometimes with these shootings. But, we kind of want to consider just the deep impacts this could make on people that are just maybe feeling a little bit different.
Yeah, I think so. Look, again, I'm going to go back to what I'd said before. This is, I think, an attempt. When these shootings happen, the script is pretty clear. It's from the point of the people who don't believe there should be any gun control. They figure out a way to minimize it, talk about thoughts and prayers, and kind of delay it out. So let's talk about transgender now rather than core problems. And then, of course, the people who want more gun control have their positions as well on it. Look, if you focus on the Second Amendment, there is certainly a First Amendment right to bear arms, but like all rights in America, they are subject to limitations. Even the First Amendment is subject to limitations. And that limitation is called gun control. We do have various forms of gun control, and the question is where those boundaries should be. And I think you can make arguments that certain people or certain psychological problems, go into a judge and say this person is a danger to himself and others. You could create a mechanism for that without offending the Second Amendment. But to just willy-nilly say something with no basis in science or in law, that one group should be excluded just because you want to change the narrative and not talk about anything that would cause greater gun control, I think that's cynical, and that's exactly what's going on here.
Now, what about when we talk about gun control and the efforts around it? It seems like, okay, if you are a bad person and you want to do harm, you are going to get that gun one way or another. That is an argument a lot of times with these types of situations where if you don't have the means, but you are going to find one anyway on the black market. What do you have to say about that?
Well, there's a certain point to that. I mean, we have more guns in America than we have people. And there's people with a great amount of guns. I do, however, think that a lot of this can be solved by waiting periods, certain reasonable gun control. And let's be clear, there is always some kind of gun control. For instance, if you're a violent felon coming out of prison, you don't have the right to bear arms. That is gun control. You don't have a right to buy an Abrams tank, assuming we have, $22 million spare, not counting outfitting costs. We don't have the right to do that in America. At the time of the founding, you did. You could buy the most sophisticated military hardware around. So we do have some gun control, and the question is, should that be extended? And I think there are reasonable arguments to be made that waiting periods save lives. They put things, but like you said, you're somebody who's determined and somebody who's crazy and wants to do this, they're probably eventually going to get a gun. But that doesn't mean we can't do everything we can to stop it.
It's crazy, man. That is wild, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. That is crazy, Chad. I think I got one more clip before we get into the Bill Gates. I think Tim Cook was there, Zuckerberg was there. I think Zuckerberg pledged something like $600 billion. We broke all of that down with Zuckerberg and not Zuckerberg, but Sam Altman, and how Bill Gates was giving money into that. Now he's at the White House, but a lot of MAGA is really mad. At the situation. They're mad at the situation of Trump sitting down with Bill Gates. They said everybody knows Bill Gates was on Epstein Island. It says, what the fuck, RFK Jr. revealed a CDC's chief scientist in 2002 was ordered to destroy data from a study showing black kids who received the measles vaccine on time had a 226 higher chance of being diagnosed with autism versus those who waited. This is criminal. Let's hear it.
I'll just tell you one example, and I could sit here and give you thousands. But in 2002, CDC did an internal study of Atlanta, Fulton County, Georgia children, and looked at children who got the MMR vaccine on time and compared those to kids who got them later. So in other words, kids who got them before 36 months and kids who got them afterward. The data from that study showed that black boys who got the vaccine on time had a 260% greater chance of getting an autism diagnosis than children who waited. The chief scientist on that, Dr. William Thompson, the senior vaccine safety scientist at CDC, was ordered to come into a room with 4 other co-authors by his boss, Frank DeStefano, who's the head of the immunization safety branch, and ordered to destroy that data. And then they published it without that fact.
Ordered to destroy that data. RFK and the CDC, RFK done got behind those doors, and now it's a lot of push-pull. A lot of people hate RFK, a lot of people love RFK, but right about now it's looking like RFK digging through them files, man. It looked like RFK got his hand in the cookie jar, but the cookie jar is a file cabinet, and he's looking around, man. He done found that this study that they brought 4 people in there and made them delete it, man, saying that, look, man, these little black boys, man, they might need this, but they don't need it at this time, man. This is not no cookie cutter shit, man. That shit is crazy, man. RFK over there putting this out to the world, man. I didn't play all that clip either of Bernie Sanders going off. Bernie Sanders ended up going the hell off too. I ain't gonna lie, Bernie Sanders been on one. I don't know who fixed Bernie his bowl of Wheaties, man, but Bernie been on one lately, man. I ain't gonna lie, Bernie been on one. Bernie look like he might be ready to fight. I ain't gonna lie, I think these people at these hearings be ready to fight for real.
President Trump, who I don't usually agree with, called COVID vaccines, quote, one of the greatest miracles in the history of modern day medicine that saved tens of millions of lives worldwide. Scientific community agrees with Trump. Lancet study found that it prevented almost 20 million deaths during their first year of use. Secretary Kennedy, are President Trump and the medical community right, or do you still believe that the COVID vaccine was, quote, the deadliest vaccine ever made?
First of all, I didn't say that. I said that in terms of affairs reports a while ago. I said today, I think that President Trump should get the Nobel Prize.
So who's right? Is Trump and the medical community right, or are you right?
President Trump did an extraordinary...
I'm not gonna lie, Chad. These hearings right here is where it go down there. I don't know, like, at what point it changes, but it's like, this takes me back to when we watched the confirmation hearings, when we watched everybody get confirmed this year, after Trump won the election, man. These hearings right here, they really beef in these. Like, it's really beef. Like, they had Jasmine Crockett, somebody was playing like the damn smoke alarm, like your smoke alarm's always going off and shit. They were playing that every time she talked. Like, they really beef in these hearings. This shit is almost like high school. Like, these hearings are all, like, it'd be real shit that they're talking about, but the way that they handle this, like, man, sometimes this shit is no holds barred. No holds barred. Look at how Bernie Sanders just talked crazy to RFK. Y'all think they'd do that if they knew they could actually fight? Like, if this was, like, really could go down to blows, do y'all think they'd be talking crazy like this in here?
I said today, I think that President Trump should get the Nobel Prize.
So who's right? Is Trump and the medical community right, or are you right?
President Trump did an extraordinary piece of leadership.
Is he right or wrong? Did COVID save millions of lives?
As I said, he got Americans back to work. At that time, that particular vaccine was perfectly matched to the virus that was circulating then. And I have no idea how many lives it saved, but it saved quite a few.
You know, what I find a little bit weird in this discussion, I'm hearing it over and over again this morning, Mr. Chairman, is we've got the entire medical community on one side. You got the AMA representing hundreds of thousands of doctors, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Public Health Association. All of these organizations are telling us that COVID vaccine and vaccines in general are safe and effective. You are casting doubt on that. Who are your scientific?
John Mason, I see you in the damn chat, man. You gonna tell me I might as well turn my chat off if I ignore? Ain't nobody. Listen, I'm here. I'm hanging out, man. We're having a show, man. What do you want to be said? I have a phone number. I opened up the... Matter of fact, John, you want to be heard? I'm dropping a phone number for you, John. Nobody call in right now but John. John wants to be heard. We're going to give John the floor. We're going to give John the floor, man. John, call in, John. The only John call in right now. We're going to get John the floor, man. He wants to be heard. You got a voice over here, John. I ignored the chat. I opened the phone lines for you, John.
Who are the organizations that are agreeing with you in casting aspersions on vaccines?
The primary advisors are Marty McCary, Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Oz, Vinay Prasad.
So you got a few doctors who agree with you, and I'm giving you the
Not
name.
a few doctors. What you're talking about is there's a big difference, Senator, between established science and the scientific establishment, which has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical
industry. Hold on. So you're telling the American people that the American Medical Association, representing hundreds of thousands of people, have been co-opted, and that they should not trust their doctors. And the American Academy of Pediatrics, and by the way, just for the record, every single Republican, I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food
Everybody
industry.
But you, Senator. But you know what? When you read
about there's a big difference, Senator, between established science and the scientific establishment, which has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical industry.
So you're telling the American people that the American Medical Association, representing hundreds of thousands of people, have been co-opted, and that they should not trust their doctors. And the American Academy of Pediatrics, and by the way, just for the record, every single Republican, I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman, has received...
Hey, Bernie Sanders said, look, man, you know what, RFK, you want to do this? I'm finna pull your card, man. Every single Republican, man, I don't even want to make this political, but you know what? You done pissed me off, and I'm Bernie Sanders, man. All of y'all took money from Big Pharma. Why y'all sitting here pushing this narrative? Oh, healthy this, work out that. All of y'all took money. Everybody pockets getting lined, man. Mine, Elizabeth's, everybody but you, RFK. You the only one didn't take money, man. Are you being for real? Then we go back to the confirmation hearing. What did they say at the confirmation hearing? Why does RFK not have to take money? Yeah, RFK might be, tried and true. Like, hey, I'm with him. He putting out the data. But RFK doesn't have to take money because when he got confirmed, he didn't tell Elizabeth Warren that he wasn't going to sue these companies. What did he say? She tried to get him under the confirmation to say, hey, look, I won't sue these companies while I'm in office and for 4 years after. He said, no, I'm not doing that. What do you mean I can't sue these companies? You got me. And now you see it coming out. Bernie Sanders saying, all y'all took money. You the only one didn't. Well, I just broke it down as to why RFK doesn't have to take the money. RFK can sue the hell out of these companies. And he been suing the hell out of these companies. And they sound like they can't. Hey, man, listen.
Which has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical industry.
So you're telling the American people that the American Medical Association, representing hundreds of thousands of people, have been co-opted, and that they should not trust their doctors. And the American Academy of Pediatrics, and by the way, just for the record, every single Republican, I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food
Everybody
industry.
But you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you will agree with me on that. Okay, you were already president, you had $1 billion behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals.
This messy, chat. I'm not gonna lie, chat. It goes down at these Senate hearings, man. This shit is messy. You know what, RFK? You want to act like this? When you was running for president, you had a billionaire behind you. You took $300,000 worth of that money. I know. I was counting your pockets. I've been counting your pockets for years, RFK. I've been counting your pockets. Man, they pocket watching and everything, man. This is crazy, chat. I'm not gonna lie. 2025 is not real. Whatever Cat Williams said, he knew what the hell was finna go on.
You know what? When you ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you will agree with me on that. Okay, you were already president, you got a billionaire behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals. You corrupt. President Trump got $3 million. Every Republican got corporate PAC money for the pharmaceutical industry. Democrats as well. Everybody is corrupt. But you? Is that what we're looking at? I don't think so. And I think the issue now...
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do know what I'm talking
about. Man, RFK should have stood on business and been like, hey, if I didn't say it, RFK should have stood on business right there. When Bernie... Here, let me play it back, chat. Let me play it back, chat.
Democrats as well. Everybody is corrupt. But you? Is that what we're looking at?
I would have been like, shit, you said it, not me. And sat back in my chair, man. RFK, hey, I would have said it. You said it, not me.
I don't think so. And I think the issue now...
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Wasn't RFK gonna run independent anyway before Trump got him on his on the administration? Wasn't RFK running something else? Man, RFK should have stood on business and been like, shit, you said it, not me. Yeah.
I think you do know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The issue is every time anyone
are you saying the pharmaceutical industry was supporting my presidential campaign?
I'm saying I don't think so. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the pharmaceutical industry is a greedy institution which is charging us the highest prices in the world. They are pervasive. But to suggest that every institution, the AMA, the pediatrics people, is corrupt because they disagree with you is an insult to the American people.
Listen, people disagree with me all the time. I have arguments in my agency, heated arguments every day with Jay Bhattacharya, with Marty McCary, with Dr. Oz.
You have given the names of a few people. I have given you the names of organizations representing hundreds of thousands of doctors and scientists. I yield, Mr. President.
Senator Tillis. Senator Lujan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Kennedy, Dr. Daskalakis, who recently resigned as director of the National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases, his resignation...
All right, Chad, I'm not going to lie. I got this clip right here, and then y'all got to see that Elizabeth Warren clip, man. Like, RFK said, y'all see how he just did, y'all see how Bernie Sanders, I want to know who spoke first, because y'all see how Bernie Sanders just put out that RFK was getting 300,000, Trump got 3 million. Listen, RFK popped off and was like, told Elizabeth Warren, and you got $855,000 from those people. So I wondered that RFK started or that Bernie started, because they just telling everybody damn business at this point. Like, it's crazy, chat. We gonna watch that clip after we watch this one. This is Ben Ray Lujan, and they saying that he getting an RFK ass, so we finna see what's going on, man. Let's see.
Letter stated he and his team were never allowed to brief you. I'm curious who you're listening to, since it's clear you're not listening to qualified experts like Dr. Daskalakis. Can you give the committee the name of the person?
I don't consider Dr. Daskalakis.
Mr. Secretary, the question that I have for you is, can you give the committee a name of who you're getting briefed by?
I'm getting briefed by all the time by CDC.
Just a name.
Dr. William Thompson's one name.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now, but I can get you a whole list of others. It's on my schedule.
Mr. Secretary, that's not a hard question. You know a lot of answers.
I'm not being evasive.
Okay, then you answered it. Let's go on. Now, you said that you're soon going to release a study claiming...
Oh, did y'all say every politician is a hustle? I didn't talk about that story yesterday, but it's somebody, one of the politicians, she's reported that she was Like when she came in the office, she was like 45K in debt, and then now she up like 30 million. You know, in 6 years she went from 0 to 100 real quick. She went from 0 to 30 million. Whatever sauce she has, chat, please tell her to reach out to me. Yeah, tell her to reach out to me. I'm trying to, if everything's legal and fair and square, I need some education, man. We are trying to go from 0 to 30 million in about 6 years, chat. And they're saying that that's what this lady did. I'm going to pull it up in a second.
Reveal the cause of autism. Timed, unsurprisingly, with the upcoming ACIP meeting to justify taking vaccines from Americans. Now, as you know, autism affects millions of children. So I guess you'd have the nation's top medical experts working on this. Mr. Kennedy, you hired a man named David Geyer to conduct this study. Is that correct?
No.
Is Mr. David Geyer working for HHS?
He's a contractor, but he's conducting a study.
He's a contractor?
He's a contractor.
Do you know who works for you, Mr. Kennedy?
Yeah.
Do you know that Mr. Geyer is listed as a HHS on the employee directory as a senior data analyst, not a contractor?
He's a contractor. He's not an SGE.
So is your website wrong?
He's not an SGE. I don't know what.
I'm going to pull up the website for you.
He's a contractor.
If the website says he is a senior data analyst, will you at least admit to the committee?
Well, I don't know if
wrong?
a contractor can be classified as a senior data analyst or not.
Is Mr. Geyer a doctor?
All right, here you go right here, man. I told y'all about the lady that had went up from 0 to 30 million. It says Ilhan Omar just reported a negative net worth of 45,000 when she was first elected to Congress in 2019. Her latest financial disclosure from May 2025 shows a net worth of up to 30 million. That's a 66,676% increase in 6 years. But yeah, they're saying that it came mainly from her husband. Her husband, you know, had some things going on. But let's see. Omar's net worth rose from 163,000 in 2023 to 6 to 30 million in 2024, largely tied to her husband's venture capital firm, which grew from 1,000 to 25 million, raising the questions about the legitimacy of this financial leap, given its specialization in structuring legislation. So he has a legislation company. And it went from $1,000 to $25 million over the time that she was in Congress. It says financial disclosures and lawsuits reveal Rose Lake and Minet's Winery faced several financial distresses in 2023 with less than $700 in accounts and investor fraud claims, yet a 2024 statement and asset growth suggests possible unreported income streams, a phenomenon studied in peer-reviewed analysis of political corruption, e.g. Journal of Public Economics 2021 on hidden wealth in politics. Omar's role in the U.S. Africa Policy Working Group, launched in 2023, coincides with Minet's business activities at African investment summits, hinting at potential conflicts of interest, a concern supported by researchers on legislative influences in venture capital. So they're saying that she went from nothing to a whole lot. He went from $1,000 company to a $25 million company in a couple years, man. They said in 2023 they was worth about $700, and about a year later, 2 years later, they worth big bucks.
No. Did you know he never went to medical school?
He's not practicing medicine.
Did you know that he got caught in Maryland and was charged for practicing medicine without a...
Oh, you said, where am I reading this from? This is from Bob Ombre over there on Twitter X. He posted the actual financial disclosure report. I'll pull it up for you guys. He posted the actual financial disclosure report. It's all public knowledge. Let me pull it up for you guys. I'll get that clip right back up in a second. Let me see, because I want to finish this clip. Okay, let me finish this clip, and then, no, I can't finish this clip. I'm going to just play it, because that clip got like 4 minutes. I'm going to show y'all this. Here you go. This is the full financial disclosure report that he posted over there. This is Bad Hombre, over there on Twitter, but this is the financial disclosure report. Annual report 2024, filing date May 14th, 2025. You see they got a name up there, income from congressional, that's that, interest, they got our whole shit laid out. Rose Lake Capital, 5 to 25 million partnership income. And they're saying that the increase happened when she started working in Africa. Her husband started taking on African investments, and he was specializing in structure and legislation. She works for Congress. So that's where they're saying the conflict of interest came. But that's where I got that clip from right there. I don't know how to get back to that other clip. Hold on, chat. Let me get back to this other clip. RFK Jr. and what was that guy's name? I can't even think of that name. Damn, chat. I can't find that clip that we just had. Oh, I think it was on Forbes. It was on Forbes. Hold on. It was on Forbes. What is that guy's name? Yeah, here you go. I found the clip, chat. Y'all double tap the screen, share the live out, man. We are about 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. I don't know why y'all not subscribing today, man. We trying to hit 31,400 subscribers. We go live every single day over here talking entertainment, politics, and current events, man. Can we get to 31,400 subscribers?
Senator Lujan.
Did an actual malice and was fined $2.6 million by a judge in Maryland for doing that.
See, so you choose to know a lot when you want to know a lot. It's incredible, Mr. Kennedy.
Senator, you're ridiculous.
So here's the question I have. You brought him in to do this study. I think there's no question about it.
I told you he's not doing a study.
Is he participating in the study?
No.
Is he doing any analysis in regards to this study?
No. What he's doing is getting access to the Vaccine Safety Data Link, which is the biggest repository for vaccine information that your friend will not give us for 7 months.
Mr. Secretary, let me ask you this question, just because you know the answer. What is Mr. Geyer doing?
He is the only one, because Congress ordered CDC to open up the VST to him in 2002. He's the only outsider who's ever seen it. So because CDC will not give us, they have
Mr. Secretary, is he participating in this then?
No, he isn't.
You just said he's the only dude that knows what's going on here.
Do you want me to explain it to you, Senator, or do you just want to showboat?
I'll submit this.
You just want to showboat for your ads, or do you want to hear a real answer to your question?
Mr. Secretary, you choose to know answers to questions with some colleagues.
I'm willing to give you the answer.
Mr. Secretary, someone should have asked you, maybe President Trump should have asked you, are you a trustworthy person? And we should have waited for an answer then. Let's move on.
I don't even know what you're talking about. You're talking gibberish.
Mr. Secretary, let me speak
slowly
and clearly so that you can understand me through my New Mexico accent.
And then give me a chance to
Does this help?
Now they race banging over there. I can't hear you. You talking gibberish. Let me say it slower so you can understand me through my Mexican accent. Like, they are banging on the Senate floor. Like, what is going on, Chad? Wow. Has it been going on like this for years, Chad? Has it always been going on like this, or is this just since Trump came back, man? Is there a new flame in there since Trump came back? I mean, I seen them playing the smoke alarm when Jasmine Crockett was talking, man. Like, what is really going on in these meetings? I seen the Mexican senators fighting, you know what I'm saying, after Trump got El Mayo to give up that $15 billion. Like, hey.
Slowly and clearly so that you can understand me through my New Mexico accent.
And then give me a chance to
Does
answer.
this help? Can you understand me?
Yes.
Appreciate that. Mr. Secretary, yes or no, did you hire Mr. Geyer to do this study?
No.
Mr. Chairman, well, let me ask, maybe we'll just get a good answer here. Mr. Secretary, will you commit to sharing the protocols used for the autism study with Congress and to the public?
They're public.
Will you commit to giving it to this committee by the end of the week?
No, not because
that's
not the way it works.
Will you
don't even know what you're talking
Mr.
about.
Secretary, will you commit to sharing the protocols for the study by...
No, that's not how it works. You don't even know what you're talking about.
The month.
We already have
You
put
just said
out,
it's public.
we put out the notice of funding opportunities, and then the scientists from all over the world.
You're not understanding me. Let me
No,
say
you're
clearly
not
again.
understanding how the world works.
Do you understand what the protocols are? Do you understand what they are?
The scientists who are doing the studies submit the protocol.
Okay, so you know
That's
what
not
they
coming
are.
from us.
So will you commit to sharing those protocols with this committee?
Well, anybody can get a hold of the protocol. It's published with the study.
Mr. Chairman, what I'd like to ask is for your commitment here.
This is from September the 4th. This is from yesterday. The Forbes posted this September 4th.
To the Secretary, I'll ask for support from the leadership of this committee to ask for those protocols. If those protocols are not given to this
Anybody
committee...
can get the protocols.
Mr. Secretary, I'm not talking to you. Mr. Chairman, what I'm asking...
If the protocols are public, we can work with you.
What I'm asking, Mr. Chairman, is that if those protocols are not given to this committee, I'm asking for your agreement that we follow through with a subpoena to get them.
No, I will not agree to subpoena anything. Let's see what happens.
Mr. Chairman, you'll help me get them if they're available publicly?
Yes.
I appreciate that, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Kennedy, with all the questions here today, people just want to know the truth.
I don't think so.
Mr. Secretary, you don't think so. Thank you.
I don't think so.
I hope everyone recording that got that, because there explains the Secretary's tenure here. Look, two young ladies in Las Cruces, New Mexico, at a town hall recently gave me this starfish pin. I was going to give it to you today, but after your questioning today, I don't think you deserve it, because what this represents is to remember that every one of us can make a difference, sir, to something as small as a starfish on a beach that maybe got washed up, you throw it back in the ocean. You might not save them all, but you can save one. I'm sorry that you're not worthy of this. Nice little pin, sir, is a nice reminder. I'm going to pray for you, Secretary Kennedy. I hope we do better. I want you to do better. But today was a failure for you, man. I yield back. Senator.
Chad.
Senator White. Thank you very much, John.
He said that guy was just trying to get clips off of him.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
He said that guy was trying to get clips for his ads. You know, he's going to get ready to run ads, so he's trying to get some fiery clips. Oh, I came at RFK. That's what RFK is accusing him of. This is Elizabeth Warren. You know, this is where RFK is going to be like, hey, I know you took $855,000. This the clip that I told y'all that I had seen. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are currently 24 subscribers away from the next sub goal. If this is your first time on my live stream, press 3 and I'll give you a personalized shout out.
Last November, while you were under consideration to become Secretary of Health and Human Services, Mr. Kennedy, you said, quote, if vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. You would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. Then last week, you announced that the COVID-19 vaccine is no longer approved for healthy people.
All right. Joe, what's up, man? Rachel, welcome in. Love you. Welcome in. Hunting Flowers and Curtis, ICU Centers, welcome in. Hope you guys all subscribe. Junior, Rachel, God Has Me, Kenneth, and Peter. I hope you all subscribe, man. Myram, I hope you subscribe, man. I hope all of y'all are having a great day wherever you are listening from, man. Double tap the screen. Be sure to subscribe to the channel.
Under the age of 65. In announcing the change, you said the vaccine will be available for anyone who wants it. Now, obviously, both things cannot be true at the same moment. So let's clear this up right now, Secretary Kennedy. Will you tell America that all adults and all children over 6 months of age are eligible to get a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today?
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it, Senator.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS. Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200 or so cost.
Okay, so she's saying the rhetoric and the things that RFK is doing is going to take the vaccine off of the insurance's bill. So that's about $200 a shot. I don't think RFK really, is just going to put up a fight for it, but he's saying that that's not what's going on. So, Chad, I want to know how you guys feel. Should the booster and vaccine still be covered by insurance?
Senator Dr. Cassidy said you are effective.
Okay, we got a few more first timers in here. Jennifer, I hope you subscribe. Peter Pootie Tang, hope you subscribe. Sean, Ralph, Damien, I hope you guys are having a great day. Yeah, man, I think that's everybody. I'm going to say it. What's up? I'm going to say it.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like this.
And that is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your farm.
Senator Warren should be president. I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen anybody say Elizabeth Warren should be president. That is a first for me, Chad. Do y'all think Elizabeth Warren should be president? Press 1 if Elizabeth Warren should be president. Press 2 if Elizabeth Warren should not step foot near the White House.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
The question is, everyone who wants it, that was your promise.
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said...
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying when you said that? Because you are the one who said you would not take them away. Now, Senator...
I'm not taking them away from anybody.
Secretary...
You want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not taking them away. Everybody can get access to them.
No, they can't walk into a pharmacy the way they could last month and get access.
It depends on the state. It depends on the states.
A year ago,
but they can still get it. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it, Senator.
So look, let's move on. You clearly are taking away vaccines. I've seen the list for what's coming up next, and that is the agenda for the next CDC vaccine panel. And first up is ratifying your COVID actions. Second is hepatitis B is on the agenda. So should Americans expect you to take away hepatitis vaccine access as well, even though you promised not to?
As I said, I'm not taking vaccines away from anybody.
Okay, same answer, right? You're just going to deny that when people can't get access, that you're not taking it away. Then let me ask you, is that the same game you're going to play with
Well,
me?
you want me to recommend every product in the world so that without any clinical trial data?
Through on your promises.
Yeah, my promise was to give.
A month ago, we could get COVID vaccines by just walking.
You can still get COVID vaccines, Senator.
You are taking that away.
No, you are
So
still. You can still get the COVID vaccines, and Medicare will still pay for them, and Medicaid will still pay for them.
Of the CDC.
Okay, chat. Let's by a show of hands, chat. Press 1 if you would get the COVID vaccine again, man. Press 1 if you would get the COVID vaccine for the first time or again. Press 2 if you would not get it. Press 2 if you would not get it, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. I hope everyone's having a good morning. We got a couple more clips of this RFK, and then we're gonna move on into the next topic, man. I hope everybody's having a great day.
See that if she refused to sign off on your changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, that she had to resign?
No, I told her that she had to resign because I asked her, are you a trustworthy person? And she said no. So if you had an employee who told you they weren't trustworthy, would you ask them to resign, Senator?
So, I'm sorry, but this is not what she has said publicly. She has said
I'm not surprised about that.
So you're saying she's lying?
Yes. Every conversation I had with her, there were
witnesses. And let me get this straight. This is the same person that less than a month earlier, you stood next to her and described her as unimpeachable. And you had full confidence in her, and that you had full confidence in her scientific credentials. And in a month, she became a liar?
Yeah, you should ask her what changed. And by the way, a month ago, you were voting against her.
Yeah, you should ask her what changed. See, that's the RFK that stood on business. When the other guy asked him the question, he should have said something like that. When Bernie asked him that question, he should have went on, kept it real. But right then he said, yeah, ask her what happened. Now I want to know what happened, Chad. I want to know what happened. Why RFK flipped the tide on her, man?
Oh, because you thought she was either incompetent, ineligible, or unsuited to the task.
I voted against her because I was afraid she was going to bend the knee to you and Donald Trump. And it looks like she didn't bend the knee, so you fired her. Look, you're putting America's babies' health at risk, America's seniors' health at risk, all Americans' health at risk, and you should resign.
Senator Sanders.
They're calling for RFK job. Press 1 in the chat if you think RFK should resign. Press 2 in the chat if you think there's no way in hell RFK should resign, man. We are 10 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man. Elizabeth Warren is saying that RFK is putting the babies in danger and he should resign. But RFK did just bring a bombshell through saying that they had suppressed evidence of a 2002 measles study that showed that the babies shouldn't be getting them at the same time. When they had a 260% higher autism rate when they got it on schedule than they did after they waited. They said they suppressed that evidence. We got a couple more of this. Yes, they said she got $855,000 from the pharmaceuticals. Yes, Bernie Sanders just called out RFK and all of the Republicans for taking money. He's saying that RFK took $300,000 from private investors though, and he had a billionaire backing him. So it's a lot of shots being fired. This was a 2-hour hearing. I'm not going to watch the whole 2 hours of it, but we are going to watch a few more clips.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I've made it clear. I think that Secretary Kennedy is dead set on making it harder for children to get vaccines and that kids are going to die because of it. And Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put in the record today an op-ed written by Susan Monarez, who was fired by Mr. Kennedy.
Without objection.
So what we know, and Dr. Monarez, was approved by Republicans. She wrote an op-ed today in the Wall Street Journal, which I've just put in the record, and I quote her. She said, "I was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel newly filled with people who have publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric." So, it's not some liberal philosopher or something. This is the CDC director who tells the Wall Street Journal, which is not exactly interested in progressive, theories and the like, that she was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel filled with people who've publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric. So, my first question, Mr. Secretary, is did you, in fact, do what Director Monarez said you did, which is tell her to just go along with vaccine recommendations, even if she didn't think such recommendations aligned with scientific evidence?
No, I did not.
That's a yes or no. So you have an opportunity to call her a liar if you say that you didn't do it, but I'd like to see you respond to this.
OG Dave, I do not have hoodies available yet. I will try to get the hoodies available in the upcoming month. This is one of the designs that I have for the hoodies, man. Double tap the screen, share the live out. We are trying to get to that 200 likes. Let's get to 200 likes right quick, chat. If you're watching on your phone, just tap twice on your screen. I hope everybody's having a great day.
No, I did not say that to her. And I never had a private meeting with her. So there are witnesses to every meeting that we have, and all of those witnesses will say, I never said that.
So she's lying today to the American people in the Wall Street Journal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's talk now about what's...
Called her a lie. Called her a lie in front of the world.
...coming up. Because I've made it clear what I've thought about the 203, days with my colleague, Senator Alsobrooks. In 2 weeks, CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices will meet to make decisions about critical vaccines that protect us against hepatitis B, measles, and more. The committee's got a profound impact on vaccine access, but these aren't ordinary meetings. You've stacked the deck to ensure the panel bends to your views. In June, you fired all 17 committee members who are respected scientists and doctors. You replaced them with non-experts, vaccine skeptics, and conspiracy theorists. As a result, this critical advisory panel has lost scientific credibility. After years, colleagues, we spend so much time not looking at this as Democrats and Republicans, but it's good science and scientific, credibility. And now the American Academy of Pediatrics has warned that the committee is being politicized at the expense of children's health. American Academy of Pediatrics, you think they're lying too?
I think the American Academy of Pediatrics is gravely conflicted. They get, for their biggest contributors are the 4 largest vaccine makers. They run a journal, Pediatrics, which they make a lot of money on, that is completely dependent on pharmaceutical companies. So I wouldn't put a big stake in what they say that benefits pharmaceutical interests. Senator, I didn't politicize ASAP, I depoliticized it. The Congress has been investigating ASAP.
All over the country, Mr. Secretary, scientists and doctors are saying otherwise. They're all wrong too. They're all lying, according to you.
The scientists and doctors are supporting me all over the country. There is division on opinion.
I don't get letters from thousands of people who are not political saying that this set of changes is going to damage American healthcare, and particularly these healthcare agencies, for decades to come. I don't get any letters from people saying, hey, this is going to make a big difference forever.
Yeah, maybe you're listening to a selective group of people.
You get me.
And I will.
Fine.
I will tell you what, Senator. I will put my mailbag against your mailbag any day of the week.
30 seconds. Dangerous respiratory viruses like RSV are on the agenda for the next advisory meeting. Countless parents have been awakened in the dead of night by a wheezing kid gasping for air, forced to rush their little one to the ER. There's no worse heart-wrenching fear. The RSV vaccine offers these kids protection against the worst effects of the virus. But now it looks like you're on a crusade to make infants and babies more vulnerable to the terrible illness. That's what we're doing with the COVID changes.
And please make your answer brief, Mr. Secretary.
I've said that
the position is indefensible. I think it's possible.
Congress has been investigating that committee for 23 years because it is pervaded with conflicts of interest. What we did is we got rid of the conflicts of interest and we depoliticize it and put great scientists on it from a very diverse group.
Let me close
very pro-vaccine.
Let me close with this because, like Senator Crapo, I'm a few seconds over. I don't think, Mr. Secretary, this is about you and me. This is about kids being pushed in harm's way by reckless and repeated decisions to get scientists and doctors out of the way and allow conspiracy theories to dictate this country's health policy. I don't see any evidence that you have any regrets about anything you've done or plans to change it. And my last comment is, I hope that you will tell the American people how many preventable child deaths are an acceptable sacrifice for enacting an agenda that I think is fundamentally cruel and defies common sense. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do I get a reply? Or, Senator, you've sat in that chair for how long? 20, 25 years, while the chronic disease in our children went up to 76%. And you said nothing. You never asked the question why it's happening. Why is this happening? Today, for the first time in 20 years, we learned that infant mortality has increased in our country. It's not because I came in here. It's because of what happened during the Biden administration that we're going to end.
I'm going to let Senator Wyden respond briefly to that, and then we're not going to go over like we just did.
Defend this committee on a bipartisan basis. Colleagues, my cabinet secretary says that we have no interest in chronic care. Mr. Secretary,
Mr. Chairman, could we have regular order, please?
We are in the process of turning around the Medicare program with the chronic care bill that Chairman Hatch, when he was chairman, and this committee put together on a bipartisan basis.
All right, we're going to proceed, and I just want the rest of the members to know. I gave Senator Wyden his right.
All right, chat, they was beefing over there, man. We finna move on to the next topic, man. If y'all are having a good time in my live stream, press 3. If you're a first timer in my live stream, press 5. Mods, I'm moving on to the next clip, so make sure y'all make all the first timers feel welcome. Make sure, mods, y'all make all the first timers feel welcome. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. This is this is one of the leaders speaking on Russia and Ukraine's NATO membership. You know, Russia's saying that they do not want Ukraine to join NATO, and he's saying, like, look, man, why are we even listening to what Russia's talking about, man? We're gonna get into this clip.
Well, why are we interested in what Russia thinks about troops in Ukraine? It's a sovereign country. It's not for them to decide. I'm really amazed. I'm not criticizing you, but I hear this question, of course, more often. So thank you for asking the question. But I'm really amazed. Russia has nothing to do with this. It's the same like Finland then should have had a sort of a nod, a yes from Russia to join NATO. No, of course not. And Sweden, no. In the past, the fact that we founded NATO, we are sovereign nations. Ukraine is a sovereign nation. If Ukraine wants to have security guarantee forces in Ukraine to support the peace deal, it's up to them. Nobody else can decide about it. And I think we really have to stop making Putin too powerful. He is the governor of Texas, not more. So let's not take it too serious.
He said that man, the governor of Texas, he just came at Greg Abbott, man. They say Putin, he just said Putin's the governor of Texas and nothing more. So you know what I took from that clip, chat? The war is not going to end because they're not going to X out Ukraine from NATO, right? Ukraine's not going to stop trying to get into NATO. Putin's not going to end the war without Ukraine not being able to join NATO. So it's going to be a lot more war going on, in my opinion. You know, I would love somebody to call in and let me know their opinion. But that's what I took from that clip. He also said Putin is nothing more than the governor of Texas. Abbott, you know, the one that got all the jokes about. That the one Jasmine Crockett and everybody likes to come after. I'm going to play the clip again, chat. Y'all tell me if that's what y'all heard. Did y'all hear that the war is not about to end? That's what I took from it.
Well, why are we interested in what Russia thinks about troops in Ukraine? It's a sovereign country. It's not for them to decide. I'm really amazed. I'm not criticizing you, but I hear this question, of course, more often. So thank you for asking the question. But I'm really amazed. Russia has nothing to do with this. It's the same like Finland then should have had a sort of a nod, a yes from Russia to join NATO. No, of course not. And Sweden, no. In the past, the fact that we founded NATO, we are sovereign nations. Ukraine is a sovereign nation. If Ukraine wants to have security guarantee forces in Ukraine to support the peace deal, it's up to them. Nobody else can decide about it. And I think we really have to stop making Putin too powerful. He is the governor of Texas, not more. So let's not take it too serious.
Said he's the governor of Texas, nothing more. Press 1 if y'all agree that Putin is nothing more than something like the governor of Texas. Press 2 if you do not agree with that comment. We're going to hear from another world leader. We're going to hear from another world leader regarding the Ukraine situation. Then we're going to move over to Germany. I told y'all I had that story about the 16 politicians that have unexpectedly passed away leading up to the September 14th elections. We're going to cover that story, and we still got to get into the Bill Gates and Trump ending diseases.
We discussed security guarantees for Ukraine, and it was a crucial meeting. Crucial because we all know that what is at stake is the future and security of our entire continent. So, today there was resolve, but also concrete delivery. The leaders endorsed the work of their chiefs of defense and defense ministers. We will be relentless in our efforts to keep Ukraine strong, Europe safe, and achieve peace. The first and strongest line of security guarantees are strong Ukrainian armed forces with no restrictions. We must turn Ukraine into a steel porcupine, indigestible for...
Another one. The war, I'm telling you, just hearing she's the leader of the EU, just hearing from her and hearing from the previous guy, yeah, this war is not going to end anytime soon, man. This is what's going to piss Trump off, man. And then, y'all, we just heard from Putin's side yesterday. What did Putin say? He said, look, if Zelensky's ready to meet, come to Moscow. Putin's not trying to meet Zelensky anywhere but Moscow. He said, if you want to meet to talk about this, Zelensky, come to Moscow. We can have this trilateral, this unilateral meeting in Moscow. Zelensky's not going to Moscow. That shit's clipped. So what they're doing right now, in my opinion, is putting the ball back in America's court. Like, look, America. You told us to raise our security up. You told us to get compliant, come to 5%, 5% on our defense, right? We did all of that. Now, Putin's saying that we're not going to end. We just watched the clip. Putin said that it's not going to stop. It's a lot of people willing to fight it to the end, talking about the EU. And it's a lot of people that want a quick resolve, talking about Trump. So Trump wants them to go ahead and give it up. Because when Trump and Putin met, what did he say? Yeah, there's going to be some things, a really big thing that's on the table, which is that land and that NATO security guarantee. They're not with that shit. Zelensky's feeling like shit. He got some riders right now. Zelensky got some riders right now. He has, the EU behind him. They already had to, spend more money. They like, we might as well. Yeah, this war is not finna end no time soon, man, unless something crazy happens, man. They putting the ball back in America's court. So what do y'all think America's gonna do? What do y'all think America's gonna do, man? How do y'all think Trump finna handle this? All the leaders coming out.
Present and future aggressors. That means standing armed forces that are strong, well-equipped and modern. Our defense industries are accelerating cooperation to make this happen. Europe will continue to train Ukrainian soldiers. Almost 90,000 have already been trained.
So we just heard Putin come out yesterday and say that Ukraine is down to 48%. They don't have enough soldiers to actually launch an offensive. They only have enough to toe the line. She's saying that they already have trained 90,000 soldiers to send over there. So yeah, it's finna ramp back up.
We have committed to do more. The second layer of the security guarantees are reassurance forces, including a US support. Today, 26 countries committed to such a reassurance force in the context of a ceasefire or a peace agreement. 26 countries willing to deploy force on the ground, in the air, or at sea.
Say Zelensky got rejuvenated. Zelensky locked and loaded. Say he got 26 countries behind him, ready to put boots on the ground, ready to put boots in the air, and ready to put boots at sea. 26 countries, man. Locked and loaded, man. That's probably the best news Zelensky's heard in a while. That's probably the best news Zelensky's heard in a while.
This should help secure lasting peace and deter future aggression. The third security guarantee is a strong and credible European defense posture. We need a surge in defense investment. And therefore it is good news that SAFE, our 150 billion euro defense fund, is fully subscribed with 19 member states participating. It's for joint procurement. Most of them will not only invest in their own defense industrial base, but also in Ukraine's. This creates good jobs in Europe. Our long-term structural answer to our defense investment is our new European budget. We have our eyes set on 2030. That is our readiness horizon. My final point is on putting an end to the bloodshed. Our sanctions are strong incentives for Russia to leave the battlefield and to come to the negotiation table. We want peace for Ukraine.
Says she wants peace for Ukraine. Chat. Double tap the screen, share the live out. Alright, I'm gonna read this article right quick before we get into the Trump Bill Gates. It says it's a Daily Mail article. It says mystery as 16 German politicians died before they were due to stand in state elections, sparking wild conspiracy theories. A series of German politicians have died ahead of state elections, sparking wild conspiracy theories online. A total of 16 candidates for local elections in the German state of Rhine-Westphalia, the biggest in the country, have died, according to its election director. Of the 16 people who have passed away, 7 were involved with AfD, while one person each from the SPD, the Social and Democratic Alternative SDA, and the FDP Greens, the Animal Welfare Party, and the Independent Voters Association. The Free Voters, the Referendum Party, and a voter group also died. So 7 were involved with one party. Conspiracy theories came out with their own droves after the death of 4, later 7 candidates standing for AfD, a right-wing upstart party that has surged in popularity since its inception in 2013. These conspiracies were amplified by the party's co-leader, Alex Weidel, who shared a claim by retired economist Stefan Homburg that the number of candidate deaths was statistically almost impossible. Police said they had ruled out unnatural causes of death or foul play in the first 4 cases. The deaths have already affected the political process, as the length of time between nomination and election is relatively long. It says more than 20,000 people are running for seats. Alright, Chad, I just wanted to bring y'all that story right there. And now we finna get into the last clip of the day, man. We finna get into the last clip of this episode, at least, man. I got the call lines open if anybody wants to call in. I know nobody's called in. It's all right.
I'm in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccine.
This is the guy that said the cow farts let off too much, what is it, CO2? They let off too much stuff. The cow farts are destroying the air. So we have to do something about beef. Either we stop the cows from farting or we make beef without the cow. I don't like either one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from the South. I think that cows farting and worrying about the cow farts messing up the ozone layer. I don't know, man. This guy wants to stop the cows from farting or stop eating beef made from cows. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with that. I don't know, man. It's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for that shit.
Genes or gene editing, and the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate
methane.
Some of these diseases.
Yeah, methane. Yeah, too much methane. Listen, man. Hey, man. I'm not trying to eat cowless beef, and I don't want my cows to not fart. Like, what is if they're not farting, what's gonna happen? This shit's just gonna be backed up. What? What if somebody came through and tried to stop y'all from farting?
He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some, like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that, in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is...
You said you think bullshit. You don't think Bill Gates trying to stop the cow? Hold on. Hold on, man. You think Bill Gates don't want to stop that cow farts? What is you talking about, man? Bill Gates been trying to stop these cows from farting for years, man. Bill Gates been ever since that lab-grown meat started having the remnants of shit, man. Bill Gates been trying to get the cow farts up out of here, man. Let me get them together, man.
New York City is going to be built every month for the next 40 years. What does that mean? Is that good or bad?
Well, I use that as an opportunity to explain that when people think of climate change, they think mostly about electricity. And that's only a quarter of the emissions come from coal, natural gas plants that are generating your electricity. When we make materials like steel and cement, those two alone are about an eighth of the emissions. And so the fact that we're going to build these cities, that the world is urbanizing, means that unless you have a totally zero emission way of making steel and cement, then you haven't come near to solving the overall climate problem. And so moving away, the term clean energy has handicapped the field because that makes people think, oh, maybe it's just electricity and passenger cars, and they don't see agriculture, industry, buses, trains as part of the problem.
One crucial part is agriculture, and one thing you said you were particular.
You said I'm fake and I'm such a liar, or are you talking about Bill Gates, Jenny? I'm gonna need you to clarify that shit, Jenny. I check shit at the door over here, man. I will have you pick them flip-flops up and exit my building. So are you talking about Bill Gates or are you talking about me?
Call from to accept, press 1.
What's going on, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Columbus, Georgia. Jason Haynes.
Okay, what's going on, Jason?
No, man, I just want to call about, all this Russia and the EU.
Go ahead.
Most definitely, they're not looking for peace. The Western, I don't know, the Western nations, and they're working against Trump, definitely. But one thing Trump has proven is no matter, you can have everything, he can have everything against him, but he always comes through. He's the only way that that peace happens. I mean, it might take a little, 6 more months or what. Eventually he will win. He always does.
Okay. So you think the war goes on at least another 6 months?
Yeah. It's going to go on. I mean, EU is extremely invested in keeping this thing going.
150 billion.
I believe that Trump's relationship with Putin, because Canada is Putin's bad man. He's horrible, and we're all and Trump gets along with him. And none of these people want peace, but Trump's forcing it to the table. And they don't like Trump. Basically, they look at Trump like Putin.
I'm gonna keep it real. I mean, Trump is pushing hard for that peace prize.
Against Trump.
Yeah, I mean, he is pushing hard for that Nobel Peace Prize. So I mean, it kind of lines up like he might actually want peace because he is pushing for that Nobel Peace Prize pretty hard.
Yeah, he is. He is. Well, so I just wanted to.
I appreciate that, caller. All right, man. I hope you subscribe to the channel, man, and give us a call back one day.
I did. All right, bro.
All right, Chad. Yeah, I did pull that earnings report.
St. Clair.
What's going on, St. Clair? Where you calling from?
Well, I prefer to be calling back from Texas, but unfortunately I had to leave and come back to North Carolina for a little bit.
Okay. All right, now, how you feeling about today's topics?
Anyone that thinks government is here to do anything other than rob you, you're truthfully, you're suffering from cognitive dissonance. Don't get it wrong. Yes, I like Trump better than everybody else, okay? But let's just be honest, okay? They are all controlled people above them. Justice Zelensky was controlled by Obama, and whoever controlled him, Trump is on too. Nothing's going to change. It's all going to continue the way it's meant to. Why? Because war makes money. It's not going to stop. I was part of the Army National Guard before I went active duty, okay? So when they talk about, oh, well, it's a conspiracy theory. No, you got to understand, these people in government are not here to be your friends. They are there to be controlled and to freaking suck away from the coffer of the people. That's it. They sucked away $330 trillion worth of wealth from we the people. And if you think that, if it should stop, Trump would stop it, okay? And the reason why it would stop with Trump is because they decided to make it happen that way.
Okay, well, let me say this, man. I think that Trump is making a push for, dang, my camera went out. Hold on, chat. My gimbal went off. Give me one
Here's my thing with that.
All right, listen. Now, let me say this. Let me say this. I think Trump is making a push for that Nobel Peace Prize. That's why he keeps mentioning that he ended 7 wars and everything. But the Venezuela, do you think we're gonna go into Venezuela? They activated what was that, a 5 million man militia? Do you think we're on the verge of going into Venezuela?
What? Be surprised. It would not. Hey, it wouldn't surprise me.
They put the terrorist jacket on them already.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to understand the majority of what we get, we're here, and what we're told. It's like they have like a whole bunch of. It's like, did Trump get shot? No, he didn't. He got a nice. They had a nice Adobe Photoshop picture of him after the fact.
know for a fact there's no way in hell unless they just absolutely lit those people in that he got there, because the Secret Service cordon you just alone is 880 meters. I knew that before the fact. You got military psyops, and they continue. The Army is, I mean, they're even pushing even harder for people to go into the military psyop. That's a lot of what they do. They want to push, would you say, their agenda a certain way. They create a problem or say that there's a problem, and then they bring some, white knight savior to the table. They do this over and over and over again. They keep people in a state of flux, because if you're constantly in a state of flux, you don't know what the hell's going on, what to think. Body's out of whack, and that's the majority of what they've been doing to our country for the better part of the last 80, if not the past 130 years or more. So regardless of the fact, if I was Trump, it's like this right now. Fauci and Bill Gates would be dead. The Clintons and the Bush family would be dead. Obama would be dead. All of them would be dead or locked up in jail for the rest of their life, and it wouldn't be a cushy one neither. So, our government is corrupt from the top down. And they're all freaking, they're all eating from the public coffer and taking it from, the people that need it. That's what it is. And that's all I got to say about it.
All right, man. I appreciate you for calling in and giving us your insight, caller.
You're welcome, brother. You have a blessed day.
All right, man. You as well. Yeah, Chad, that caller came in and dropped some game, man. That caller came in and dropped some game, man. I'm going to play the rest of this Bill Gates fart clip, and then we finna get up out of here, Chad. We'll be back tonight.
Surprised by was how great a problem bovine flatulence is. Do you want to explain what that is and why it's a problem?
Yeah, so the animals that can eat grass have very unusual stomachs that have these bacteria that are methanogenic in there, and so they leak natural gas both out the front and the back. And so people have said, well, let's change the hay or throw some things in there. And it's been, nobody knows how to get rid of that.
How to get cows to stop farting.
Exactly, or burping. And so there is artificial meat, but that's at a very early stage. But that's another.
Thank you, Big Niche, for the 2 jewels. Thank you, Big Niche. Y'all get Big Niche some flames on those 2 jewels, man. Look, I told y'all, this the cow farts, man. He talking about order. This was 6 years ago. They was talking about the fake meat. Now we got states coming out this year banning lab meat. We already have states coming out putting full-on, and countries putting full-on bans on this lab meat. He was getting ready to promote it then. This was 6 years ago.
Source of greenhouse gas emissions. So trying to make sure that the people who acknowledge the problem, which I think is fantastic, that they understand the breadth of innovation required before you can get anywhere near to what we have to do, which is zero. If it was a 50% reduction, then you could ignore, okay, leave the cows alone. But because we're trying to avoid the temperature continuing to go up, you do need to go to zero. Otherwise, you're continuing to have temperature increase.
You threw a party in Beijing, a toilet fair. Why are you obsessed with
greenhouse gas emissions? So trying to make sure that the people who acknowledge the problem, which I think is fantastic, that they understand the breadth of innovation required before you can get anywhere near to what we have to do, which is zero.
All right, man. Appreciate that, Eric, man. I hope y'all have a good day, chat. I think I'm about to get ready to travel, so if I am traveling, y'all might see me at a different location tonight. Maybe not. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, man, and have a great weekend, man. Hope you guys have a great weekend and enjoy the rest of y'all's day, man. See you later, chat.